All right, so we're on lesson 78, and I start off with something very, very profound, as you'll see on your notes. I start off by telling you that the number 2 equals 2. All right, this is good. All right, the part about this that they want you to get is that the opposite of 2, so if I'm going to use the same thing, the opposite of 2, and this of doesn't mean multiply. I know usually it does. The opposite of 2 does not equal 2, it equals -2. So they're saying that when you have a number line and you have the number 2, if someone says, what's the opposite of that? You're going to flip it to -2. So these two are opposites of each other. So this -2 goes to here and this +2 goes to here. I don't know if that's super important, but just remember that, okay? So I kind of like this and I was looking forward to explaining this in class, but I'll do it on the video. All right, so you've all heard that two blanks do not make a blank. 2 lies don't make a truth. 2 apples don't make a bunch. Well, this one is 2 wrongs. Please write that down on your thing. 2 wrongs do not make a right. Right? We know that just from life itself. Doesn't pay to make somebody does something bad to you, you don't do something bad back to them to make it right. Okay, that's your little character class. But that's to remind you that in math, though, 2 negatives do make a positive. 2 negatives in math equal a positive. So even though 2 wrongs do not make a right, 2 negatives do make a positive. That's really what you need to know with this lesson, okay? Because they're going to be putting this crazy brackets all over the place, and you need to not worry about that. All you're looking for are 2 negatives that they will equal a positive. So when I look at this is -3, you could also say, what is the opposite of -3? Okay, I prefer not to do that. So I just see, here's 2 negatives, that they equal a positive. Then I have 1 negative out here, and I have 1 positive. Well, whenever you have 1 negative and a positive, you stick with your negative. So this -3 equals overall just -3. Okay, the reason is because these 2 negatives equal a positive, but then I have this negative, so it's like the negative of +3, which is -3. All right, let's go to B. So I notice in here I have my 2 negatives equal a positive, and I have 2 more negatives, and they equal a positive. So this is +7 equals just the number 7 or +7. Either one would be acceptable. The negative of -81, or the opposite of -81, well, you could circle these like this, or you could see the 2 of them and then just give them pluses. Whichever way you want to do it, that's kind of how I do it. But anyways, so -81 equals +81. Okay, this one they get a little tricky, but not too tricky. We can handle it. It's easy because I see these 2 negatives together. Whenever I see 2 negatives together, they equal a positive. Let's see, I have a negative, positive, then this is a positive, positive. Okay, well, I can't do anything else here. So I have negative, positive, positive, +5. I have to keep this negative here. So this equals -5. Because what is the negative of +5, or the opposite of +5? It equals -5. I hope that makes sense, and I hope that those problems are easy for you. And you just have one more lesson left.